I'm gonna attract all the hopeless, skeptical poor folks of this. Guys, if you clicked on this video and you thought if you think I'm gonna talk about, negativity in life not having hope and that being a bad thing, please click off. This isn't a video for victims. In fact, life without hope and faith, I hope to show you a new way of living life, a new perspective towards perceiving the things that happen to you, the experiences that happen to you. So if you came expecting negativity, if you're depressed or you're a cynic or you're a nihilist and you came expecting a cynical, nihilistic point of view, you're going to be disappointed. So that disclaimer aside, we'll get into the video. So if you came expecting that, please click off. Seriously, save your time. Please click off. Now coming to the actual topic of the video, life without hope and faith. And it's a topic particularly close to my heart because where I come from, from a religious background, we believe in these things called having faith in a God or having faith in a future or having faith that certain things will work out in a certain way. I have always found it paradoxical that at the same time that we as humans have, we hope about certain things, we hope for certain things, and we have faith that certain things will happen, we say the same tongue, we say the same breath that expectations are bad. My paradox or what the confusion that I have is, well, how can you say that expectations are bad but also believe in the concept of hope and faith? However moral they may seem, however better they may seem, they're still playing the same game. It's kind of like a person subscribing to religion as opposed to subscribing to politics, for example. Instead of supporting politics, instead of believing left or right, they believe in God. But it's the same game. You're still believing in something external to you. You're still operating from a place of conditioning, albeit you may argue that, being conditioned by God or religion or what have you, this better than being conditioned by politics. But it's the same game. And it's the same point that I'm making with hope and faith and living with expectation. If you're really dealt with a positive experience with something, just take positive experience as an example. If you're in a positive experience, let's just take a very flashy example that most of us can relate to. Sorry, people who have been chronically single your own life. I'm sorry. Please imagine with me at least for a second. But if you're having a conversation with this girl and you're almost falling in love, it need not be with a girl, whatever way you spin. It's 2025. The world is your playground. Whatever way you spin. But until that, having a conversation with a potential prospect for a romantic relationship, if you're just there having a very high-inducing conversation, then you don't, in that moment that you're having a conversation, you don't really care whether both of you actually end up getting together or both of you end up forming something together. It's the same thing with a client, so to say. If you swing, I'm sure if you at least don't swing this way, you have to at least swing the client way, wherein if you're talking with a potential client and you're having an amazing conversation, you truly don't care if they convert or not at the end of the call. It would be nice if they did, but in the very moment that you're having a conversation with them, in the very moment that you're enjoying, you're playing with them, nothing else matters to you except the joy of that particular moment. The point I'm making here is we don't hope for anything else while we're in that moment. When we are happy, so to say, we don't hope for sadness. We don't hope for unhappiness, or we don't hope the happiness goes away. And yet, why is it that once we are dealt with a negative emotion or some sort of an emotion that's not pleasant to deal, it's some sort of an experience where we have to push through, so to say, why is it that we look at that situation and be like, hey, I don't want this, I hope for a better life, or I hope for a better situation, or I hope this thing goes this certain way. It's a form of expectation, regardless of what you want to say, regardless of how you want to label it. Regardless of however fancy your words might be, you can even pull verses from the Bible if you want to sound extra fancy. It's all the same thing. It's all expectation at the end of the day, and it's all coming from your lack of acceptance for what is being dealt to you. So, you might be sitting there and wondering, okay, Mahesh, what on earth should I do? Life without hope and faith, it will obviously leave a void, because hope and faith, however expectation-based they may be, they still give you a life direction. So without hope and faith, obviously, there will be a void of direction in your life. So what can you do? How are you supposed to deal with that consequence, so to say? My invitation to you is you deal with it with love. It's lame It's really, I'm sorry, I don't have any other cool. You actually deal with it with love, wherein whenever you're actually going through a situation, you ask yourself, how can I love this? How can I love what I'm doing right now? Regardless of however horrific your situation is, I promise you, if you ask yourself that simple question, your brain, just because of how our brains are wired when we hear the word love, will automatically start looking into the situation in a very analytical way, and it'll start finding reasons to actually stay in the moment. It'll actually start deriving lessons that the moment is trying to teach, even if it is not inherently pleasurable to begin with. Right? That question of what can I love? What can I love about the situation? What can I love about the fact that I'm stuck in traffic? Or what can I love about the fact that this person that I hired is completely irresponsible? He's not professional at all. He's not anything that I expected him to be. But what can I love about the situation? Asking yourself that question is completely different from the very act of saying, sorry, that's my alarm going off again. But it's completely different from saying, hey, I hope he understands, or I hope he changes. That is expectation. But if you ask yourself, what can I love about the situation? Suddenly, you're changing the responsibility, changing the power dynamics from the other person, from the other situation. You're taking the power dynamic and shifting it in your favor again. And you ask yourself that question, whole world changes. Your whole world changes. Wherein if you just go through life with two notions, basically, when you adopt this kind of philosophy, go through life with two fundamental notions. The two fundamental notions are, first notion is, well, if you genuinely enjoy the situation at hand, you don't need hope, you don't need faith. So the positive experiences are taken care of. In the negative situations, in the situations which aren't as positive as the positive situations, what you can deal with them is actually spot the lesson underneath. And how you do that is by asking yourself, what can I love about this situation? Or what can I do to love this situation 10% more? When you ask yourself that question, the lesson behind what the experience that you're going through will become apparent. And when that becomes apparent, there is no need for hope and faith anymore. Because you wouldn't wish to change your circumstance. If anything, you'd be grateful you were dealt that experience, or you're going through that experience in the first place. And that's my invitation to you. Try living for a month. You don't need to, you don't need to subscribe to this new lifestyle. The change need not be that drastic. You can just, well, if you actually like this video, that is, you can just listen to me and go, okay, this is interesting. It's stretching my mind in a way that I've never been stretched before. Okay, maybe I'll give this a shot. That's all I'm asking you to do. Maybe just one day, try it. To try it with one day, or try it for a week, at least, for a minimum, at least for a week. Try it and see how it goes. See how life plays out. And if it doesn't play out in your favor, you can always go back to believing in whatever God or whatever religion, or having hope and faith that you used to like before. But my invitation to you is, at least try this mode of living. Try living in this way without any hope, any faith, but just utmost commitment to be present in this moment and nothing else. Try it, and my hunch is that your life will change. For the better or worse, I don't know, but it will change towards the truth. That much I can guarantee. That's about it. Comment below if you have any doubts, any concerns. If you disagree with what I'm saying, I invite new opinions in the comments section. Even if I don't respond, I will read them in the very bare minimum. Comment below if you have any questions, any thoughts after watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Only. Thank you for watching. Yeah, have an amazing day. See ya.